Jack Frost actually started out as a villain in another one of my books called King's Bounty. It was actually a Western for young adults I was writing, and I just didn't like the way it was going, so I put it on hold for indefinitely. And partway through writing Pirate Cove, I decided that while the game itself had enough material to make a pretty good story, I felt that it would benefit by expanding it a little bit and adding a villain. And I talked to Scott about it. It was his game, and anything I wanted to add into the story, I certainly got his permission. He said, "Sure, by all means, go for it." So I did. The idea of Jack Frost being that the nickname or the moniker, as you will, was applied to him just because he was essentially a very cold-hearted villain. And Andrew discovered that it extended to his very skin. When Andrew touched his hand or shook his hand, he felt that it was ice cold. In this sense, also, Jack Frost is a cursed character. He's obsessed with the treasure of Blackbeard, and he even states that the treasure calls to him. He cannot rest until he obtains it. And to that end, he actually assembles a crew of sailors that are basically not necessarily pirates, as Andrew discovers, but necessarily people that he has captured and forced into his employ, and that probably would not have borne Andrew too much of a grudge if he had defeated them in battle, simply because they would have been free. So needless to say, he's not a very sympathetic character. He's definitely the villain here, and that's how I wanted him. Down the line, as this trilogy goes on, I do intend that eventually there's going to be a happy ending for everybody, and even Jack Frost maybe might even see a satisfactory conclusion. But basically, I'm hoping he will end up being a good villain, an epic villain for what I hope is also a very epic trilogy.